It was the tennis pairing nobody saw coming. And for one unforgettable night, it left the entire world absolutely speechless. A 21-year-old Filipina sensation who had just made history as the first player from her country to ever be seated at a Grand Slam. A 46-year-old American icon with 7 Grand Slam singles titles and 14 major doubles crowns. Together, they stepped onto the grass courts of Bad Homburg and did something that nobody expected. They didn't just win, they dominated. They dazzled. They created a moment so electric that the crowd couldn't stop cheering, the cameras couldn't stop flashing, and the tennis world couldn't stop talking. But here's the twist. The performance that left everyone speechless wasn't just about the victory. It was about everything that came after. The heartbreak, the tears, the words exchanged between 2 generations of champions, and a bond that transcended the scoreboard. Was this just a fleeting partnership, or the beginning of something tennis will never forget?
For alexeala, it was a moment that felt almost too surreal to be real. A pinch-me experience that most players can only dream about. The 21-year-old Filipina sensation had just made history. She had secured the number 29 seeding at Wimbledon, becoming the first Filipino in history to earn a single seed at a Grand Slam tournament. She had stunned the tennis world by defeating world number 2 Elena Rybakina and world number 8 Elina Svitolina in Berlin. She had captured her first grass court title at Birmingham just 2 weeks earlier, and now she was about to share a court with one of her childhood idols. Venus Williams, the 7-time Grand Slam singles champion, the 14-time major doubles winner, the icon who had defined an era of tennis alongside her sister Serena. At 46 years old, Venus was still competing, still fighting, still inspiring, and she had chosen alexeala as her doubles partner at the WTA 500 Bad Homburg Open in Germany. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I'd have the privilege of competing alongside you on court, Eala would later write. She called the partnership a kind of pinch-me experience most players only dream about. Immensely grateful to learn from you. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. This high-profile grass court experience served as the perfect springboard for Eala's historic upcoming debut at Wimbledon. Both players had suffered early singles exits at Bad Homburg, Eala falling to Belgium's Mertens and Venus losing to Romania's Irina Camelia Begu. Both needed match practice on grass. Both saw the doubles draw as the perfect opportunity to find rhythm and confidence. But for Eala, this was about something far deeper than match preparation. This was about fulfilling a childhood dream. This was about sharing a court with one of the greatest players in tennis history. And when the pairs stepped onto the court together for the first time, the tennis world was about to witness something truly extraordinary. The highly anticipated tandem wasted little time finding its rhythm and chemistry. On Wednesday, June 24, 2026, alexeala and Venus Williams stepped onto the grass courts of TC Bad Homburg for their first match as partners. One was a rising young star, the other was a tennis legend who continues to deliver moments of brilliance on the court. Together, they proved to be a formidable doubles partnership. They came out firing, immediately catching their opponents off guard. Eala's sizzling baseline pace fused with Williams' timeless lethal touch at the net. The duo raced to a commanding 4-0 lead in the opening set and never looked back, cruising to a 6-3 victory in just 30 minutes. The second set proved more challenging. Harrison and Osborne, ranked world numbers 142 and 143 in doubles respectively, mounted a stronger challenge. The match remained on serve through the first 6 games, before Eala and Williams secured a break in the 7th. Their opponents responded immediately with a break of their own in the 8th game to level at 4-4. But Eala and Williams, ranked world numbers 151 and 120 in doubles respectively, delivered when it mattered most. They converted a crucial break point after a deuce battle in the 9th game, then held serve in the next to seal the victory. The final score? 6-3, 6-4. In just 1 hour and 10 minutes, the dream partnership had passed its first test with flying colors. After the match, the new partners captured the moment with a celebratory selfie. Eala was glowing, Venus was beaming, and the tennis world was absolutely speechless. The popular pair got tremendous crowd support, ABC-CBN reported. Every point they won was met with cheers. Every rally they extended was celebrated. It felt less like a tennis match and more like a coronation. But the real story wasn't just about the victory. It was about what that victory revealed. A partnership built on mutual respect, instant chemistry, and the kind of magic that happens when two generations collide. Amid the triumph, something else happened. Something so small, so fleeting, that it could have easily gone unnoticed. But it didn't. Because in that moment, alexeala revealed more about her character than any victory ever could. It happened during the match, under the searing heat of the German sun. As the players retreated to their chairs during a changeover, a ball boy approached with an umbrella, ready to shield one of them from the blazing heat. Without hesitation, Eala gestured toward her legendary partner. She insisted that Venus Williams, the 7-time Grand Slam champion, the icon she had grown up idolizing, receive the shade. The gesture lasted only seconds, but in that moment, alexeala revealed something profound about herself. Here was a 21-year-old playing in one of the biggest matches of her career, sharing a court with a living legend. She could have easily accepted the shade herself. She had earned it. She was the one running, grinding, and fighting for every point. But instead, she deferred. She gave the spotlight and the comfort to someone she had admired from afar for years. The moment didn't go unnoticed. Fans in the stands exchanged glances, cameras captured the exchange, and when the match ended, Eala didn't celebrate wildly. She didn't pump her fist or scream in triumph. She moved back, clapped, and gave the spotlight to one of the sport's most iconic figures. It was a masterclass in humility, a lesson in respect, a moment that proved alexeala wasn't just a great tennis player, she was a great human being. The gesture would later become one of the most talked about moments of the entire tournament, a reminder that in a sport often defined by fierce competition, there is still room for grace, for kindness, for the simple act of giving someone else the shade. But just 24 hours later, the dream partnership would come to a heartbreaking end. The celebration was short-lived. Less than 24 hours after their triumphant debut, on Thursday, June 25, 2026, Eala and Williams stepped onto center court for their quarterfinal match against the second-seeded duo of Olivia Nicholls and Tereza Mihalikova. The British-Slovakian pair had been competing together since 2024 and had captured the doubles crown at the Queen's Club Championships earlier that month. They were cohesive, battle-tested, and hungry. The match was a grind from the very first point. Eala and Williams briefly took the lead at 2-1 and 3-2 in the first set, showing flashes of the chemistry that had carried them through the first round. But then, everything unraveled. Mihalikova and Nicholls won 6 straight games to grab the first set 6-3 and take a 2-0 lead in the second. Their solid net game and superior second serve percentage of 75% compared to just 57% for Eala and Williams proved too much to overcome. The second-seeded duo's solid net game and superior second serve percentage proved too much to overcome. Eala and Williams tried to rally. They earned a break in the 7th game to prolong the match, but Nicholls and Mihalikova showed superb volleying and placement to lead 3-1 and 5-1. The match ended 6-3, 6-2. In less than 48 hours, the dream partnership was over. Chemistry and familiarity made the difference, Rappler reported. The opponents had been playing together for 9 consecutive tournaments, a level of cohesion that Eala and Williams simply couldn't match. For Venus, the defeat meant fewer match reps heading into Wimbledon, where she was set to reunite with her sister Serena in the doubles draw. For Eala, it was a bitter pill to swallow, a chance to learn from a legend, cut short by the narrowest of margins. But even in defeat, something extraordinary happened.
The match was over. The dream partnership had ended, but the emotions were just beginning. Despite the defeat, Eala and Williams showed promise in their brief partnership. They didn't walk off the court in silence. They didn't retreat to their separate corners. Instead, they did something that left the tennis world absolutely speechless. They celebrated each other. In an Instagram post, Eala looked back on her time sharing the court with Williams with profound gratitude. "Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I'd have the privilege of competing alongside you on court," she wrote, "immensely grateful to learn from you." Then came the response that broke the internet. Venus Williams, the 7-time Grand Slam champion, the icon who had inspired millions, took to her Instagram story with words that melted every heart. "The best ride, the best tournament, the best partner." In just 7 words, Venus Williams had revealed the true meaning of their brief partnership. It wasn't about winning, it wasn't about rankings or prize money, it was about the joy of competition, the beauty of mentorship, the power of 2 generations coming together to create something unforgettable. It was still a memorable run for the pairing, ABC-CBN reported. For Eala, 2 matches meant 2 hours of downloading veteran savvy, court psychology, and the icy composure of an all-time great. Lessons you can't get from any coaching manual, a priceless education that will shape her career for years to come. Now, both shift their focus to Wimbledon. Eala is set to make history in the singles after being seeded 29th, the first Filipina to earn a seed at a Grand Slam. Venus, meanwhile, is scheduled for another memorable chapter, reuniting with her sister Serena in the doubles. "Call it a win," the Philippine star concluded, because the real prize wasn't the scoreboard, it was the priceless education. The dream partnership may have ended, but the memories and the lessons would last forever. Eala is coming in sharper, wiser, and carrying a piece of Venus Williams with her. It was the tennis pairing nobody saw coming, and for one unforgettable night, it left the entire world absolutely speechless. A 21-year-old Filipina sensation and a 46-year-old American icon. 1 match, 1 hour, 1 unforgettable performance. They didn't just win, they dominated, they dazzled, they created a moment so electric that the crowd couldn't stop cheering, the cameras couldn't stop flashing, and the tennis world couldn't stop talking. But the performance that left everyone speechless wasn't just about the victory, it was about everything that came after. The heartbreak of a quarterfinal defeat, the tears of an ending that came too soon, and the words exchanged between 2 generations of champions, words that would be replayed millions of times. "Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I'd have the privilege of competing alongside you on court," she wrote. "The best ride, the best tournament, the best partner," Venus responded. The partnership may have lasted only 2 matches, but for Eala, those 2 matches meant 2 hours of downloading veteran savvy, court psychology, and the icy composure of an all-time great. Lessons you can't get from any coaching manual, a priceless education that will shape her career for years to come. Now, both shift their focus to Wimbledon. Eala is set to make history in the singles after being seeded 29th, the first Filipina to earn a seed at a Grand Slam. Venus, meanwhile, is scheduled for another memorable chapter, reuniting with her sister Serena in the doubles. The dream pairing may have ended, but the bond between these 2 players, one a legend, one a rising star, has only just begun. And as Eala steps on to center court at Wimbledon, she carries with her not just the hopes of a nation, but a piece of Venus Williams. Was this just a fleeting partnership, or the beginning of something tennis will never forget? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.